Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash, Call Allah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that continually rule very well to this very day. That is still to this very day continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the Holy elect that's continually plowing in this work, that's continually giving forth your all in this labor of love and faith, true sincerity, and also in all charity, spreading his ministry and his gospel to the other members of the Holy elect in doing so. Shalom. Now, the topic of this video is going to be basically, my version of the New Year's Eve of destruction, because I wasn't able to make the live stream. I had to work today. Had to work on this holiday. Well, basically I was working, for Christmas as well, but wasn't able to make the live stream. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents in concerning this new so-called year, in which the things that we're going to see here in the soils of Babylon, which is known as America. Because if just throw this fact out, is that America is recorded in the Bible. All right. And so, the things that we're going to see, is going to get a lot worse. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to, the things that you see right now is the times that we're coming into. It's going to come to a point in time where everybody or everyone who is in the vibration of Babylon, they're going to be made the property of these wicked elites, which are the elites of Edom, or the Edomites, which that is the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man, of the so-called white race. They are the Edomites, and also known as the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Because this is why this technology has been moving forward so much, even in this year, or should I say, so-called last year, 2018, in which you had Google Home, you had Alexa, you had all these devices that came out concerning making the home, like a main hub for wireless connectivity. Everything is wireless. Everything is ran on a network. And so guess what? It's only going to, or should I say the direction that this place is heading towards is where, instead of having the devices connect you to the home, the home itself, which goes into the Internet of Things, which that's an actual term in the networking world. Ultimately, it's going to lead towards the people being connected to the home. Where the home is, you're completely tied to the network. You yourself are connected to the network. All right, and that network is a part of the system, in which that's why if you go into the inner workings of the internet, it's ran off of a specific system where it has different domains, and is all kept up with by one system. All right, which they're all tied into one another. So when you're connected, and the way they're going to connect the people is by way of the mark of the beast. All right, the mark of the beast, which is spoken about in the Bible, is known as the RFID microchip. All right, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's obvious now that the prophecy concerning the mark of the beast is making itself more manifest. It's making itself known. All right. And so that's how they're going to do it. They're going to have the people accept this microchip technology. And guess what? They're going to be connected to the web. They're going to be connected to the World Wide Web. And you're going to have your own registry to where, you know how you have your PCs and computers and your smartphones, all your devices is connected to a specific access point, which is also known as a router. Basically, that router is what gives those different devices an IP address. You know, an IP address is like having a personal address. You know, like, say for instance, you stay at a certain house, and that house has an address that's tied to it, that's tied to the state, that's tied to that city. So guess what? In this network, when the Mark of the Beast is fully implemented, that's going to be your registry. That's going to be your address. That's going to be what is going to give you an identity in the network. All right. Like this technology that we're coming, this technology that's being advanced, and the new form of technology that we're coming into is going to be up close and personal. You know, you're going to be a device that connects to the network. All right. But other than that, at the end of the ordeal, when everything is said and done, when these people that are fully in line with Babylon, when they accept this microchip technology, the Mark of the Beast, guess what? At that point in time, that's when the Lord is going to start bringing down heavy judgment. All right. Why? Because that's one of the last major prophecies spoken about in the scriptures. All right. So again, with that being said, Babylon is on its way out. Babylon is one step closer to being destroyed. Babylon has one foot in the grave right now. All right. These people don't see it because they're too busy celebrating. I mean, as of right now, as I'm speaking, you know, you got people out drinking, people out getting drunk and, you know, rioting as we speak, outside shooting pistols, popping fireworks, just for a day like this, not knowing that the times that is about to be fulfilled on the soils of America is going to be the destruction of America. They don't see it, man. All right, the reason why they don't see it is because the Lord has blinded them to where they're not able to see it. We see it crystal clear on this end. All right, the ones that has fully left off the ways of Babylon, we see it very, very clear. All right, that America is going to be decimated by thermonuclear fire. All right, I mean, it's a known fact. It's so much a known fact to where now you have certain individuals saying that, look, America is actually heading down that path of being destroyed. You know, there's no way that these people can put it off anymore. All right. That's why they turn to alcoholic beverages. They turn to partying. They turn to clubbing, eating, feasting on food, indulging themselves in GMOs. Why? Because these people know that America is on its way out. Therefore, they're depressed. Okay? And then the only thing they can find comfort in is what America offers, or what Babylon offers. The so-called goodies of the society. They find comfort in that because they know deep down in their spirit that it's over. And it is over. So as the year goes on, 2019, you're going to start even seeing things more outrageous and more wicked than it was in 2018. All right. Now, without rambling on too much longer, I know I went on for quite a while. Slakia. I just had a lot to say concerning this coming so-called year 2019. so-called 2019. Now I want to grab Second Esdras. Actually, slide. Let me turn this down a little bit. Second Esdras, the 14th chapter, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." All right, and that's true. All right, and we are setting our house in order. That's why we're residing right now in these chains of darkness. All right, these chains, these fleshly bodies, and we're mortifying our bodies. All right, we're basically uplifting the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and putting down the works of the flesh. So therefore, we're setting ourselves in order, because this body, that's why this body is known as a house, in which the word body goes back to the word bodeg, which means what? House. An abode for the spirit. Okay? So once again, it says, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." All right? Let go from the mortal thoughts, right? The things concerning this world, the fleshly things. All right? Let go of the cares of Babylon, man. You know, this place is going down fast. So there's no point in putting your stock into a decaying society. You know, that's outrageous. All right? You have to be insane to do that, man. It says, "And cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature," right? And that is a part of being weak. All right? When you let the world completely consume you, that's part of being weak natured, man. All right? But you have to have the strength to fight through that, and to put on the immortal, the things of the spirit, the things that that you have to set your mind to the things that are heavenly. All right? Which is the kingdom of the Most High. All right? Now it says, verse 15 says, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee." Right? And which the thoughts, and the scriptures speak about how the body presses down the spirit. All right, in which the body is what muses upon many things. You know. Now it says, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." And that's right, we ought to haste to flee from these times, man. Why? Because the days are evil. All right? The evil days are coming. And that evil day that we speak about, especially here in Great Millstone, starting with the apostle elders on down, is what? Martial law. Jacob's trouble. All right? It's the time of trouble that's never happened throughout the course of history. But guess what? In this time that we're coming into right now, it's going to be the most memorable. And when I say the most memorable, I mean it's going to be something that has never been done in the past. All right? I mean, you had 70 AD that took place, or should I say the event that took place in 70 AD when our people were persecuted and they were scattered throughout the four corners of the world. Guess what? The times that we're coming into is gonna far exceed what happened. All right, especially Masada, when you had our people fleeing to the mountains and they were starved to death. Guess what? It's gonna be on a whole nother level. All right. Now it says, and that's why it says to haste to flee from these times. All right. The way that you haste to flee from the times is by being fully in tune in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, by being in His Word. All right. Occupying yourself in prophecy. All right. That says, for look, or should I say Slaki, it said verse 16, it says, for yet greater evils than these which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. All right. So the evils are going to continually increase. All right. As the world gets weaker in age. And the reason why the world gets weaker in age is because the so-called white man is in rulership. All right. That's the reason why this world gets weaker with age, because the so-called white man, Esau, has completely sucked the land dry. Everywhere he goes, everything dies. All right. Everywhere he set his foot on, it dies. Death is at his foot. All right. Everything he touches, it corrupts and it dies off. All right. So that's why evils are going to increase upon them that dwell therein. All right. I'm talking about these Babylonians, these modern day Babylonians. All right. That call themselves Americans. Now reading on, it says, for the time is fled away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision to come which thou hast seen. All right. And yeah, that vision that Ezra saw, right, in which actually that happened back during the time of the Roman Empire, right? The vision that Ezra saw, all right, which is the same vision that Daniel saw as well, but it wasn't explained to Daniel what it was. All right. Even the angel told Ezra, he said that these things were told, the same thing was told to Daniel, but it wasn't expounded unto him what they meant. And he gave Ezra the understanding of what he mean by that. All right. But in this time now, there are certain visions that even the prophet saw that are speaking about these times. All right, like John the Revelator, when he was exiled to the island of Patmos, he was shown certain things that was going to happen this time. Daniel, even though he saw the same vision that Ezra saw, but yet it was another vision that came right after that particular vision that was spoken about or was speaking about America. All right. Now, I want to go on from there. I want to get the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter. And I'm going to start at the 11 verses to the point. It says, Then say I, Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, how long? And that's the same thing we ask. How long, man? We've been waiting for Yahweh Bashmiel Shai to bring down judgment on Babylon, but it feels like it's tarrying, man. And yeah, it does feel like it's tarrying, right? It feel like it's long and drawn out. But that's the point, because we're supposed to keep watch, all right? Because the Lord, basically he didn't put, or should I say, he didn't give us an exact time and date when everything's going to fall through, all right? That's where patience come in. Because the Lord actually does have a set time and a set date to where this place go down. But he's not going to reveal that to us. If he revealed that to us, then what would be the point of having faith? We already know when it's going to happen. Because you're going to have guys that's going to be those last minute men, the guys at the last minute try to get themselves together, get themselves right, and and are not sincere. All right. Reading on, it says, And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly destroyed. So that's how long. That's the answer to that question. Asking when you ask the Lord how long, and he tells you, he said, well, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant. In other words, he's saying that, look, he already has a set time and date to where it go down. So when it happens, it's going to happen. All right? That's how long. Okay? Now I want to go from there. I want to get the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk, the second chapter. And start at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. All right. So the Lord has chosen out certain men to sit on that watch, to sit on the watchtower and watch what the Lord will say. All right. And we have been watching. And guess what? The Lord has been speaking. How do we know? Because the words that are spoken about within the scriptures is speaking right now. All right. The mark of the beast, that's speaking. All right. Famines, earthquakes in diverse places, that's speaking. The sign in the moon and the stars, that's speaking. All right. Which mainly is the sun. It's the sun and the moon. It's like it. That means say stars, but basically it's the sun and the moon. We've been having a constant occurrence of blood moons. All right. So that's the Lord speaking. Let's see, verse 2, it says, and the Lord Yahweh Shai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right. So when we bring out certain prophecies, we make it plain on tables, right? In which those tables represent your mind, so that he may run that readeth it. All right. So he may take this word and spread it. All right. Verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Right. So the Lord has that appointed time for these prophecies to fully come to pass. Right. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Okay. That'll be at that point in time of where they will realize that the Lord is not a man that shall lie. Scripture speak about that. The Lord is not a man that shall lie. So when we say these words, when we speak about the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah, or declare the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah, should I say, then they'll know that we've been telling the truth the whole time. Okay. So it says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So, of course, it feels like it's tarrying, but he said, wait for it, because it's going to surely come and it will not tarry. So when it finally happens, it's not going to tarry. All right. It's not going to, when it fully, or should I say, when the plagues and the prophecies start to fully come to pass, they're not going to tarry. They're not just going to stay here for months, for a year or years. It's going to happen in the flash of an eye. All right. Or it's going to happen at the blink of an eye. It's going to come and go just like that. Okay. Because in those days, the Lord's really going to speed up those times. All right. I'm gonna grab one last precept. I'm gonna close it on out. It's Revelation, the 11th chapter. Right, it's Revelation, the 11th chapter. I'm starting the 11th verse. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right. Now, the ones that are standing on their feet right now are the men that's of the elect of the nation of Israel. The men that you see out in the highways and byways, teaching the word in its entirety, teaching 100% doctrine, teaching about the prophecies concerning the mark of the beast, martial law, Jacob's trouble, famines, the destruction of Babylon the Great. These are the men that you see right now in the highways and byways that are teaching that. That's why you see that great fear that's falling upon men which see us. All right. And really, mainly just talking about Esau, the so-called white man, the wicked elites, because they see us on the videos. And when they see us on the videos, that instills fear within them, because they know that when they see us out there, this is the last go around for them. This is the final hour of their kingdom. So that's why fear has fallen upon these wicked elites, because they see us out there. They know who we are. They know that we're the prophets of the Lord. And we're here to deliver a message from the Lord himself, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Verse 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Right? Kwam Bachayar Yasha Allah. All right, which means come here, or come by here, or rise up, elect of Israel. Okay. It says, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Right, because our enemies are going to behold us. All right. And that's going to be a heavy time. Why? Because it's not going to be a thing to where, you know, we're off in the wilderness somewhere, or we're, you know, in a corner somewhere, you know, off in the corner of a city, and, you know, they're going to see us off in the distance. No, the Lord's going to make it to where our enemies are going to behold us being lifted up. And there's no telling what the Lord is, how the Lord's going to have that to happen, how he's going to have our enemies to see us go up in those chariots. All right. Because remember, the Lord said, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, for the things that prepare unto them that love him. Okay. And it says, verse 13, it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. All right. Now that great earthquake is going to come by way of those missiles. All right. Those ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. Once they're shot from one end of heaven to the other, from one side of the world to the next, from east to west, that's that great earthquake. All right. Now it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And by the way, 7 means completion. Now, mind you, it says 7,000. Okay? So, if it's 7,000, knowing that 7 is completion, then that means it's going to be an innumerable amount of people that are going to be taken and destroyed in this thermonuclear destruction. All right. Now it says, in the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. Right. The 10th part of the city is talking about America. Right. And it says, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High of heaven. Right. Because when we're taking up to those chariots, those missiles are going to be coming down at the same time. All right. You know, once we're being beamed up, we're going to be seeing the thermonuclear missiles hitting their marks, commencing with the destruction. And then while we're up there, we're going to still continue to watch the destruction. All right. I know I said it's my last precept, but I want to get something else. All right, it's the book of Revelation, the 15th chapter. And start at the second verse to the point. It says, "And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High." Now that sea of glass is talking about when we're looking down at the destruction. All right. Because the Lord is going to allow us to take a look at the reward of the wicked, all right, which is going to make us even more frightened, all right, because we're going to sit here and contemplate, you know, that could have been us. That could have been us as that was down there burning along with the rest of these people. So that's why we're going to be in that time. We're going to be affrighted, and we're going to give glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right. And while we're doing that, you know, he's going to allow us to look down at the destruction. That's why I said the sea of glass mingled with fire. We're going to look at down destruction, and guess what it's going to look like? A lake of fire, like the scriptures speak about, where it said death and hell will be cast into the lake of fire. That's exactly how America's going to look, exactly like a lake of fire. Okay, where it's going to be, all parts of America is going to be touched by this destruction. All right. Nothing but fire, brimstone, and smoke. So that is the times that we're coming into very soon. Lord's will, this be the year where the Lord will start to bring down even more heavy judgment. And Lord will, this be the year that these prophecies will commence to its full extent. You know, it's like a train. You know, it's like a train. At first, when you start up the train, and then you're ready to move it, you know, it doesn't just, you know, zip to its full speed just like that. It takes time for that train to build up speed. So just like you see right now, that train, which represent the prophecies, is starting to pick up speed. And once it picks up speed, guess what? It's going to be no form of stopping those prophecies. All right. The same thing with a train. You know, you can't stop a train with just pressing the brakes or using the brake system, because it's going to take a long while for that train to slow down. So guess what? When these prophecies start to happen or start to come to the full extent of its power, there's going to be no stopping it. All right. So like I mentioned before, Lord's will, this be the year that the Lord ends everything. All right. That he ends everything and everybody that has fought against you.